Welcome to In the Know with Steph and Joe. In the Know with Steph and Joe is all about small business development. These two entrepreneurs bring real-life experience, laughter, and, well, just a ton of knowledge on how to build your small business and make it thrive. After all, this is your creation. Now learn how to make it sing. In the Know with Steph and Joe airs Fridays at 3 p.m. right here on 216 The Net. Like, follow Steph's books and Restoration One of Cary, along with 216 The Net on Facebook, and subscribe to the 216 The Net YouTube channel. We could do blue, white, and orange if you want. Whatever you need. Yeah.
Whatever we want to do.
I mean, the show's live now, so you guys can start talking.
Hey.
I'm trying to.
You know, that might have been just a bit of luck.
Who knows?
Or was that hard work to plan that?
It was. Yes.
Yeah, hard work. Hard work. We're going to go with hard work. Welcome, y'all. Hi, Steph.
Hey, good 4th of
Hi.
July. Y'all had a couple weeks off. We're back at it.
You know,
Feeling good? The Fiesta
I
days
hope
were in there?
everybody had a great time off.
Yeah.
I know I had a blast during the 4th, and then after the 4th, I went to Vermont. First time east of Ohio ever.
Good syrup up there?
Didn't.
I don't know. What is Vermont known for? I don't even know.
Maple syrup.
Syrup?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
There
I
you go.
did not try
You're
the
spot
syrup. Sounds like it was.
Did not partake in the syrup.
Did not partake in the sticky stuff.
Questionable.
Bunch of dudes. Yeah, questionable. All right.
Yes. I did not
Hey,
partake
Derek.
in the pollinator stuff.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you worked hard or
I
got
feel
lucky?
I feel like your science is off on that.
So my hard work, my good luck and charm, and joie de vivre, if you will, my gregariousness really paid off, and I got to go on a trip.
Nice.
Right? Isn't that how it works?
It does.
All my good looks are what gets me to where I'm at.
It's the moneymaker.
For those that can't hear me, yeah, that's my good looks.
You look like a baby because you shaved your beard off.
Well,
Really well. I was told by. Go ahead, you say it.
Earlier in the green room, Eli told Joe that he looks now like he's 26.
And I said, "Are you sure? 26?" And he
26.
goes, 26. And I went, "Not like 30? No?" And he goes, 26. All right,
There you
I'll
go.
take 26.
Looking like
bro.
26. That's good.
20, are you sure? 23? Maybe 23? He goes, 24, 25, 26, not 23.
I love it.
Well,
Okay.
at least you could rent a car without the extra insurance.
There you go.
That's true. Wow. If that's what I'm going for these days. All my hard work, all my good luck paid off.
All right, so today, luck versus hard work. So let's kind of break it down so people understand where we're coming from with the luck versus the hard work. Mm-hmm. So we kind of touched on it briefly in the green room about how when people, outsiders, see a certain perceived level of success that another person or people are having, sometimes their knee-jerk response is,
Damn, that dude's lucky.
right. And
That
then,
girl's lucky.
And then we were talking about the analogy of like the tip of the iceberg. Have you guys seen that meme? Like it's all over the internet where it has just a little tip of the iceberg, and then below it is like all of the stuff.
Yeah.
That's gonna sink your ship.
Yeah.
Perseverance. Yep.
Yeah. Derek, we're in studio number 2 here. So we're live in studio number 2 at 216 Creator
See,
Studios.
I told you it's like literally.
Yeah,
it's like
we're in a
Adam's family.
Well, it actually resembles the servant's elevator, right? The service elevator.
I kind of blend in a little bit. I gotta start wearing a different shirt.
I know you got a black shirt on. I have a gray shirt on.
I mean, we're literally
It's perfect. It's perfect.
nailed it. So hard work versus good luck. How much do people perceive you to have that? Right. there's so many celebrities out there that have probably said, and we could probably look them up that say, a lot of people say that I have good luck, but here I am working hard for the past 10 years, and I just came into the limelight.
Yeah, Lizzo said that, right? I was an overnight success 10 years later.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's kind of where I definitely get butt hurt. I will say I get butt hurt so hard when people say you're lucky. But when people tell me I'm lucky, that you want to know what grinds my gears? You want to know what grinds my gears? When people say I'm lucky.
What about those people who say, "Oh, the harder you work, the luckier you get"?
But how is it
such a thing?
like ever luck? I feel like the harder you work and the more people you meet, I feel like the more opportunity then is open to you.
So the luckier you get is not necessarily the luckier you get.
I feel like if you're somebody that is, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I feel like if you're somebody that's out there and you're grinding and hustling, you're going to meet other grinders and hustlers.
Are we talking grinding like your aunts?
No. So if you do all of that and you start meeting all of these other people that are either at the same level as you or maybe a little bit higher or a little bit lower than you, you're meeting all these people, which then in turn is going to open up either other opportunities or other opportunities of knowledge or nuggets that we've talked about on the show. And that has nothing to do with luck. It has to do with you surrounding yourself by other people of similar work ethic.
But you're still working hard, right? So everybody's going to work hard. Not everybody. People work hard, and those that are perceived to be lucky.
I think it's easier for people, so if you start a business and you have $5,000 to your name, and you start a business and you have to do that slow grow, okay? And then someone else next to you has $500,000 to start the same business, their growth projection, if done correctly, will be much faster than yours versus 500,000 versus 5,000.
It won't. Would it be faster, or would it just be the same trajectory? Just right,
based upon that cash injection.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Right, but if I have 500,000, I could buy a fleet of trucks to start. So I could buy 6 trucks and have humans, to fill those trucks, to start working, and I can go after bigger jobs to start. If you and I both have the same knowledge, just different cash injections, okay? You start with $5,000, that gets you probably 1 truck, and you might have to start working on more residential jobs to then grind your way up to get to those commercial jobs when you could afford to put 3 trucks on 1 job for a couple days.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just a different thing, and it has nothing to do with luck at that point. It's just a matter of funds.
Yeah, Derek says, I don't think you get luckier the harder you work. That's just fruits from your hard work. Lucky is unknowingly being at the right place at the right time, or something just hits you in the face.
Right.
Never mind.
So it's kind of like one of we went and toured somebody's cannabis facility.
Yeah.
A few years back. I've told you the story.
Yes.
So we went and did that. So that situation of that person becoming into the cannabis space was pure dumb luck. It was part of his college final thesis of senior year at college. He entered in as one of the people where they did the lottery draw for cannabis licenses before you had to pay all the money and have all the capital.
Yep.
And he got drawn. He had no intentions of ever going into that space, but he was very business savvy and he was smart. So then he took that opportunity and now has worked so hard and developed and engineered things that have transformed that industry.
So he's lucky in the sense that he got drawn.
Right. But then
But he's smart and not lucky in the sense that he knew to put his name in the hat.
Yeah, well, it was just part of his college paper with his group of seniors.
Had nobody else, told him or whatever, he wouldn't have put his name in the hat, right? Putting your name into the contest is smarts, not luck. getting drawn is lucky.
Right. Like,
Right.
he didn't do it with the intention of actually being, like, picked. They were just doing it as something, like, fun and funny for their final college paper. And then they just happened to win. But since these guys are very smart in business and they got, whatever, that's what their
Savvy.
degrees were in, was
Savvy.
business.
Yep.
Now they've turned it into $10+ million company in a matter of whatever,
Well,
10 years of graduating college.
That industry is stupid because you can just
But I'm just saying,
multiply your dollars.
Right, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, his once he had that little stroke of luck that chose his path, and then he just hit that ground running and worked super hard.
So that's when people say you're lucky. He is lucky in the sense that he got that draw.
Right.
However, he's hardworking in the sense that anybody could have gotten that draw and not done anything with it,
Right.
Or whatever, flopped on that project.
Right. You could have been lucky and got the pick, and then did nothing with it, and it just
Crap the bed.
So,
Correct.
So Brian Bond from Aegis Solutions says the throne isn't comfortable. Right? So if you think of the throne, the king or the queen sits on the throne, you never think of a lazy boy, right? A lazy boy is a nice, comfortable recliner. So in other words, as I'm sitting in my lazy boy and you're sitting on your throne stuff, I go, oh, you're lucky. You're the queen. You're on the throne, right? I think when people talk about luck versus hard work, it's because I want what you have. I'm not willing to do what you've done. But man, you're lucky. You've got a Tesla, and you've got a Honda, and you've got a house and a dog, and I've got I've got a 1977 Chevette and a double wide, right? It's a 2-door Chevette, 4-speed too.
Pardon me.
very specific.
Pardon me, sir.
That's right. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So it's never to win. I don't know that you all are working at 2 a.m. to look lucky to me, if that makes sense. Right?
So many people in my insurance world, and when you tell me about how you work, and when I know you're sending emails and texts, at whatever odd hours of the night, morning, whatever, right?
Her vampire hours.
Yeah. But
But nobody bothers me at that time. Like, we've talked about this.
It's
a
the
lot.
it's the witch's hour.
That's the same as me. Let's just run down that rabbit hole for a minute, though.
Like
that's
nobody
the hard
bothers
work.
me.
So in my insurance world, my uncle is an extremely successful insurance person, and
Very lucky.
He told me extremely lucky.
Yeah.
And he told me, the key to his luck
Right.
was to get up in the morning and walk into the city, and when you look up at your competitor's skyrise and you see their lights on at their level, right, and that's their offices, you have to get up earlier the next day. And then you get up the next day, and you get up, and if their lights are still on, you got to get up earlier the next time. And so I know that the Brown Line in the city, the Brown Line L, leaves the beginning station way outside of the city and heads into the city at 4 a.m. is the first train. And I know this because at 4:08 it hit my stop, which was 3 after the end of it. And it hit my stop, and at 4:08 I'm on that Brown Line train. And I would be downtown before 5. And I would walk by, and my competitor's lights were off. And I could pound out more work with nobody responding, nobody in the office. I'm in a cube farm. There's nobody in the cube farm. I'm the only fucker in the stalls, right? And that's it. And I could pound out so much work. And that was it. And then I started getting responses and people saying, oh, here, do this deal. Yep, I could do that. And I would spend the time in the morning because I had it, answer all my emails, do all the hard work that I didn't need responses from people. I didn't need people to pick up the phone.
Right.
And then come the middle of the day or the morning when everybody's ready to talk, I'm immediately picking up phones, and I already got emails in. I already got all my legwork done.
Right.
Right? And that to me was really how you're getting ahead, and then people are like, oh yeah, you're lucky that you landed that job. Thanks.
Well, it's just like when I was a teenager and I worked in an office, I was one of the few people that was allowed to have a cell phone on my desk.
Ooh.
Because you weren't allowed to have your cell phones out. They
That's
either had to
correct.
be in your car or in your purse. They weren't allowed on your desks. But I was one of the few people that was allowed to have that. And people were like, oh, you're so lucky. And why do you get special treatment? I don't know. Maybe because I'm here every day at 6 a.m. on time and I'm not fidgeting on my phone. I am a mom and I have to be accessible to my kid and his school. You know, like I'm not playing around. So it's not lucky and it's not this. I've proven that I'm not on my phone doing personal things. I am here to do my job, get my check, and then I go and do whatever activities I'm going to do after that. So it's just like people will like look at you and be like, oh, well, you get all this special treatment. Yeah, because I earned it, not because I just
my ass
walked
off,
in
right.
day one.
Have you ever made the mistake and called somebody else lucky or thought, like at least in your mind, hey, I think they're like, well, what the hell? That guy's got that. Why? Right? Have you ever thought that? Because I know I'm guilty of it, and then I look back and go, "Oh shit," you know. Maybe they fucking earned
Like,
it.
well, I mean, like the
I don't
guy
know.
with
I don't know.
the Ring camera guy.
Yeah, right.
Like he pitched that on Shark Tank. Nobody bought it.
Never
and
worked. I don't
all
know
that
why you'd
stuff.
want that. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and then it's like $1 billion, like, you know.
Yeah, the Virgin Records dude, Bronson,
Yeah,
or whatever,
and
said,
he just came in
I
and
love
he
it.
pitched it, and people are like, "Oh no, that's so dumb. Who wants a camera on their front door?" Now all you see on Facebook is everybody's Ring cameras,
People following,
tattletelling
right,
on
yeah.
kids that are doing ding door ditching.
Ding-door ditching.
So
Farting.
it's just like,
Good thing, you want to know what's funny is they did that in my neighborhood. Just side note again. They did that in my neighborhood, and they were running around, and they supposedly were supposed to do it to my door, but I detached my doorbell, so you can't ring my doorbell.
I don't
There's
even
no
have a doorbell.
There's one
You
there,
can push
but
it.
you go and push it, it doesn't do jack. It doesn't do anything. So nobody really knows that you can't really, like,
Ring it.
you have to physically knock on my door.
Yeah. Mom says that I've been called lucky for my flight benefits. But I also busted my ass for the past 36 years.
Amen, Mom.
Not luck hard. And yeah, so a new person comes in, right? Or I get
Amen.
hired or whatever. Man, you're so lucky, Linda.
Look
Well,
at those
it's
benefits
all
you got.
like-
Jeez Louise.
It's all like outsider people
Right.
that don't work for the airline that don't understand that that is part of an employee benefit, but they also don't understand a lot of the other things that they've gone through as airline employees that other people would have benefited in a different career.
Now I've got this. Derek will appreciate this. I've got friends,
in low places.
and
Mm-hmm.
they lived in a condo, and the lady next door was a widow, and they made friends with her, and then she died and left them everything.
Interesting.
She didn't really have. That's lucky, right? I was like,
No, not if they made friends with her. That's not.
they didn't
lucky.
work for it.
No, well, that's having a relationship. That's like the relationship.
That's
isn't,
luck, bro. She could have gave it to the church. She could have. You know what I mean?
You're right. Hang on.
That's
though.
lucky,
But,
man.
but like that's
That's luck.
I wouldn't call it luck. I wouldn't call it work. I would call it this fine line of like, you're building a relationship with another human, right? Like it's not like she would just leave that. In my mind, she wouldn't just leave that because they were just across the hall from her. They probably were over there, had some dinners together, right? Like treated her to leftovers or whatever.
Hey, I've had dinner with a lot of people, and
but,
nobody's
like,
giving me.
Hang on.
You're not in the will.
I ain't in a will.
Carrie and I did that to some of our neighbors in the
Right.
city, and I could tell you that one of the neighbors, they loved us extensively. They had lots of kids, so I doubt that they would leave us anything. But all I'm saying is, to me, it's more like, Derek, shut up. He said that's a stroke of luck. With
Yeah.
some groundwork laid.
And it was hundreds.
beforehand.
I mean, it was hundreds
So a
of.
little bit of both.
It was
Thank you,
hundreds of
Derek. That's
thousands
actually
of dollars.
Right.
There were hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Which again is the relationship building. You don't just like that's like just having
That ain't work. That ain't work.
I think that that's like a uniquely interesting thing because like it's not like those people friended that lady with the intent.
with the intent, right.
That they were going to put in this time and put in this
Right.
work and they were
100%.
going to get whatever. like the fact that they ultimately wound up getting that, yeah, I mean, it is pretty lucky. I mean, like it's
lucky
interesting.
or is it?
I guess I would say it's interesting.
It's
But, like,
interesting. It's not luck. It's not hard work.
right, but like,
It's a solid stroke of luck.
but I mean, like back to my mom with her flight
Full of
benefits,
shit,
though.
Derek.
Like those people that say that she's lucky that
Yeah.
she can get on the standby list and fly or whatever, and
For
has
free?
like a
Yeah,
right.
whatever.
Right, but what they don't see is the times that we've all slept in the airport because we couldn't get out.
Right.
The times that we've had to we couldn't get out of Puerto Rico, so we had to route to New Jersey, get a rental car, and then drive back to Chicago because we couldn't get home. Like they don't see all of these things that come from having this flight benefit. Like it's not the same as it was.
Flight benefit.
Like pre 9/11, it was a much different benefit.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Oh, I can say that to T as well. I mean, I used to be able to drive onto Detroit Metro Airport and literally just drive right on there. Post 9/11, that benefit went away.
Womp, womp, womp.
But that's like...
It's like those same people that say, "Oh, that's you're so lucky to have that benefit," are the same people that are going to be the first person in line at customer service wanting a voucher the second their flight is 3.5 minutes late.
And that's why I brought Derek up for that. I mean, this is what he does, right? I mean, how many of his clients go, leave it to the people, leave it to the Jeffersons across the hall. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if they're good people, I love the Jeffersons.
Or what about all those people that bought like penny stocks? Like when Monster, the energy drink, was a penny stock.
Walmart.
And you bought that, and then like by the time once it blew up and stuff, then you were like a millionaire overnight. Like there's things that happen where you just are in right place, right time.
Yeah.
And it is pretty lucky.
Do you guys think about that when you put together your wills?
Well, I got a lot of kids, so.
Maybe.
Well, I understand that, but still, do you think about outside of your kids when you put together your will or something like that to like
outside of my
who would I
bloodline?
like to
I mean, my kids will be excited to pay off all my debt. I'll leave this credit card to you, this one to Lucy.
the mortgage to that?
Good luck.
Good luck, y'all.
They'll be looking at the cards, like, well, what's your limit on the card? How much room do you have on this? Oh, you must have been Dad's favorite because you got like $75 available in credit on this one.
Oh, look at you, 25 cents left.
But no, I mean, like my immediate family, like my bloodline is what
I mean,
anything
I'm the
would go
same.
to.
I mean, okay, I'm the same when I set it up, but like when I was asked, well, what if everybody passes away with you, right? Like, what if we're in a tragic accident and
like we all die together?
Where does it all go? And
then
I went,
it would
oh,
go to
good question.
my brother.
Probate. My friend Probate.
Mr. Probate to you.
All right, so let's flip it then. Let's go business. I get hired by Steph, right, to come in and be a bookkeeper. I'm there for a month. Steph dies, and in her will, she left me her entire business.
Wow, you must be a hell of a...
That's pretty lucky.
That's an option as a.
That's
when
pretty
you're
lucky.
doing your estate.
Well, okay, then I have to ask, what's the variables? There's so many variables to that. How many...
He knows me so well.
I was the lowest. Never mind.
I'm just really endowed. Lucky if you mean that.
But it's just
Right,
Really, lucky below the waist.
It's you walk in. I don't know. I was there. She gave me 2 accounts or whatever, but I made her laugh at one point or something, and she passes, but she left it to me, and she all right, this is yours now, Kent. What? That's luck. That's not hard work. Nor did I take time to build a relationship.
But is that really going to happen?
it could.
It could.
You never know how people get in their golden years. I'm just saying, some people get like eccentric and they just do like weird shit.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, my dad was on hospice and he changed his whole will.
Yeah, and or let's say Rich doesn't want to have anything to do with it. right?
Well,
and
but
so
that
he
doesn't
comes
mean-
he
that
comes
doesn't
he
mean
comes to
Rich
me and
doesn't
goes,
want the
listen,
money
man.
from it.
He comes to me and goes, listen, I know that this is a really good business. Listen, give me a couple thousand. I can't even look at it anymore because it just reminds me of my wife. And
Well, that's
you know what?
selling it to you.
Yeah, but that's still pretty lucky if it's
That's
if
really
it's only a
lucky.
couple grand,
Okay, I'm
right?
not arguing with that.
Right.
All right, that's luck.
Yeah,
That's luck.
and
But when people tell you you didn't get to that spot,
right,
right?
Right.
By luck.
right,
You happen to come across an lucky event.
right. That's why I say I don't.
A lucky event.
That's why I think in
said that
business,
wrong.
there's no such thing as luck. I think you got to
I
grind.
agree.
You got to
I
work
agree.
hard.
I'm so mad when people say lucky.
Sure.
I mean, like,
I'm
it's
not
like,
lucky.
it always makes me like when someone says, oh, you're so lucky, like, it makes me, like, what about me screams luck?
That's the
Like,
same
I
as
want
me.
to know,
Help me understand.
Is it my height? Am I so tall that I'm lucky?
Is it
No.
the debt
Nope.
that I have? Is that what makes me lucky? Is it like this? Like I could just
Lucky.
walk around like I am a successful business owner, but nobody's seen my books. You don't know. You don't
I
know
was
what
gonna
I'm
say,
doing
I could
or not.
be thousands of hundreds of millions of
You know,
dollars in
like-
debt.
Debt,
You have
right,
no
yeah.
idea.
Right, like you don't know. I mean, my house could be foreclosing next week. Like nobody knows.
I'm
Correct.
sorry. If you need help, let me know. I've
you know
got,
what I mean?
I've got
Like-
some credit cards.
Like you like
Yes. Can you pay for my truck?
That's right.
like you know me for
You're going
like,
down.
like a couple months or something. Like how
Yeah.
do
Take you for a
you
ride in the truck, though.
you know what I mean?
Right. Well, no.
Like, how
and-
do you like? What about this? Would be like, oh, you
You're
know,
lucky.
right? Like, I want to know because you saying that you guys added a couple trucks to your fleet like a few months ago when you said it, you know, on air.
hey, Chris. Chris says I hate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate that, Chris.
but it's just like what, like you don't know anything like below the surface.
Right.
And so that's where most people, like a lot of people go, oh, you got a new truck, right? And they told me, and then, well, what about the old truck? Well, they didn't know that
Yeah,
the
you
old
bought a truck with a shit ass engine.
they didn't know that the old truck had a lemon engine, and I had to fight and struggle with that thing for months, tens of thousands of miles to get it. And finally, Carrie was like, "Fuck it, get rid of it."
Yeah.
And so
That's unlucky.
that is like the worst luck, right?
Right, like we were
Right.
talking about it like at the office earlier today with me and my team, and I was like, yeah, like when people are like, oh, you're so lucky to have a building. Why? Why am I so lucky to have a building?
Now I have
Like,
a payment. Now I have overhead.
I have
now I have this.
all of this other
Now I
shit
have
that I
these-
didn't have
these
as a renter.
payments I have-
It's
right.
not like I was walking down Crystal Lake Road and then all of a sudden the deed to the building with my name on it fluttered by in a gust of wind. Like, you know,
Right.
like,
Such a great
Oh, my
analogy.
name's on it.
I didn't open a Willy Wonka bar and get a golden ticket to
Right.
the building.
Right.
it's just like it's not like you. It's just like when you go to buy a house. It's not like
Ah.
you're just gonna show up and be like, "Yes,
Okay,
sir, I would
okay.
like the keys to this house. This is spectacular."
That's lucky.
And
We
they're
bought-
like,
hang on,
"Sure."
We bought our house, and our house is in like a beautiful spot.
Yeah,
right?
it's a nice
We're
thing,
on
yeah.
the bottom of a cul-de-sac. We're at the way back. We are the base.
Right
of
at the taint of the
cul-de-sac.
sack.
Right at the straight taint, right? And so but that house came onto the market like literally the hour or the day before we were there looking.
Right.
And so that might have been a little luck.
Yeah.
That being
Yeah.
said, we had to work hard to be able to pay for it.
And
right?
to
we had
make
to
it a
work
home.
hard to do all this stuff.
Well, it's just like I saw the TikTok at 2:00 in the morning, got infomercialed on being a person of business and not having diversified assets and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, shit, like, I need to do that. They're talking to me. And then this building 3 hours later popped up in my email and it was affordable because I couldn't afford any other commercial real estate in the surrounding area. And it was affordable and it was a good size for me and my team. And I was like, the stars are aligned. Clearly, I'm meant to buy this. And so I bought.
So I'm all about recruiting employees, recruiting
Poaching.
location.
recruiting. Air quotes.
No. The location. So I'm working on a location, another one, and I think I'll have it before the end of the year.
Yeah, but this has been part of your plan, though, too, right?
It has been.
Yeah.
But this is a lot of work that it takes to get
does.
there. So when I finally get the place, I'm going to be like bragging because I got it for a great deal and I got this and this and it's this and this.
And that's why I like what Derek said. It's really the fruits from your hard work. People don't know how many seeds you planted, and they don't see the thousands that didn't come up.
Uh-huh.
Right? They just see this beautiful apple tree with all this fruit on it and go,
Yeah.
man, you're lucky you got an apple tree.
Yeah. Way to
Right.
go. Way to go.
Yeah, I guess they don't see all
Cat,
the
man,
dead
you really
bushes.
have a
Yeah.
great you have a great life right now. Way to go.
Yeah.
How many thorn bushes did you walk through to get
Lord,
to get
yeah. So I'm like, Christ, I got a crown of thorns.
I can't tell you how many ticks I flicked off.
Hey, but that's the truth, right? Is I think you're lucky because you're going golfing and I can't. You're the boss. You set your own schedule. I'm the employee, and I'm like, man, he's lucky. Man, he's so lucky. He's out in Vermont right now playing golf. He's so lucky, right? And the only reason I think that is because I can't. But I didn't see the 15 years of grinding, eating ramen noodles, and Snicker bars, out of the back of a truck. You know what I mean? I didn't see that. All I see is you in
100
Vermont.
hours a week. I worked every week for years straight. Right.
Right.
Like, yes.
And all I see is you golfing. Go, man, he's lucky.
Right. Well, it's just
that
like
dude.
like that we talked about that we're going, to Europe and stuff for my 40th and all this stuff. And then people are like, oh, you're so lucky to be able to go to Europe and blah, 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 blah. But what they don't see is all the stuff behind the scenes of me contacting the phone company to make sure I have an international plan, me working with my team to figure out the time changes to determine, like, I'll be accessible for you guys from this time to this time in Illinois. And then after that, I'll be,
And understanding which country she's got to do not enter.
but like, it's just like,
Can't go to
Who
Copenhagen.
has her on the wanted list?
it's not like, as an owner, it's not like you just board the plane
Right.
and your phone is off.
Gotta go. Yeah.
Like, it's like, as an employee, if one of my employees, like, for example, like Melanie had gone to Bulgaria to visit family last year, and so her phone was off to us.
Yeah.
Like, we knew she was still alive because she has Snapchat and she's friends with other coworkers on Snapchat. So she posted some stuff and we could see it. But it's just like, I don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
And
I was
as
like,
somebody in sales, do you have that luxury?
When I used to go to the
No.
island, when I used to go to the island before like cell phones were a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
I would go and literally be completely detached.
Right. I mean, now you don't have that choice. It's very different now. Because the second you get like a cell phone, like little ping, and somebody knows that you're pinged on that cell phone, like it's over for you. Just like that one client of yours in insurance told you answered an email that you should have never answered.
You're right. You're right. However, they also know that it's over. I'm not doing it. I only did it once, and then I'm happy to ignore you.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I
I
think
will openly ignore you.
Derek has a good point. He says, I think maybe lucky has a different meaning as well. Yeah.
Yeah, when people say lucky, sometimes they're really meaning it from the aspect of being jealous, more than downgrading or forgetting the hard work and effort you put in your business or whatever.
You know what I think is weird, though? Is that when someone says you're lucky, it grinds your gears. But when someone says you've changed, doesn't faze you at all. And you're like, nope, haven't changed. You're crazy. But when someone says you're lucky, I feel like it is such like a similar concept.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
I feel like a lot
Really?
of those. I feel like a lot of those people that say when they like, in my opinion, when people like point out how much you've changed when it pertains to you being like growing and successful. And are the same people that will point out, man, you're lucky, because it's the same people that have an issue with your success and growth. I feel like they're coming from a very similar place and feeling.
And I think in the business world too, if it's work versus luck, if you're the one sitting around waiting to hit the scratch off ticket in your business, you're not going to be in business much.
You're not going to be lucky.
Yeah.
Everybody's gambled in here.
Yeah.
We all know gambling doesn't pay off.
Right. I mean,
It's more of a just paying for fun,
Yeah.
paying for entertainment.
That's why
You're
when
not making money.
when you're at a mixer or whatever, and they hey, you want to buy an arm's length worth of tickets, you're actually buying the chance to win. You're not buying a win.
100%.
So if I don't win, I'm like, I bought the chance.
2 arms lengths.
That's right.
this is why he puts all of his tickets in one basket when there's 5 of an option.
And have I won?
Well, you did.
That's right. That's right. It worked. Lucky.
Your strategy worked.
That's right.
So when I buy tickets, I buy them to win.
Yeah, and I like what Derek's saying there too, being more jealous or petty or whatever. I think work versus lucky is, man, you're lucky. No,
Well, hang on.
I
Now,
grind.
wait, you brought up a good point. I bought a bunch of tickets, so I spent my money, right? And then I ripped them all up and I put them into one basket, and I won. So my strategy, it's not like I was lucky because I won. I had a strategy. I went and played the strategy. I feel like that's not luck.
Right. Well, it's just like when you hear about those people and they're like, oh, when they win like the lotto or the lucky day lotto and they win like $1 million or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, I went into the gas station and I spent my last dollar and, and me and my kids were about to be evicted and I spent my last dollar on this lotto ticket. The first thing that goes through my head is, how irresponsible of a parent are you?
So
And,
true.
Like,
So true.
and then I'm like,
100%.
like, how many dollars did you really spend on these like lotto tickets over a period of time?
And that's what
that
I
you
really
can't
want to
even-
know
it's like
is
you
it really
pick.
lucky or is it just time to pay out?
Right. Like, yeah, I guess once you at some point the house will lose.
Right.
At some point.
That's how I play the slot machines.
Right. Yeah. Eventually, because like in Vegas, like the slot machines tend to be a little bit looser at certain times of the day. And I've noticed that that's true. Just like the video poker at the bars are a little bit looser to keep you sitting there and drinking.
But we're
and
not
whatever.
telling what time of day or anything
But-
like that.
Right.
We're not getting into trouble.
But I'm just saying, but then.
Chris, we're always gambling.
You
Come on,
know?
man. Never gamble, Chris.
You get in
Come
your car,
on.
you're gambling.
I feel like life is a gamble.
Yeah.
We're always gambling, Chris. Everybody's always gambling.
Yeah, I
Every time you change your marketing strategy, it's a gamble.
right.
Every time.
Fair point.
Every time.
I mean, okay,
There's not.
that's a good point. So is it luck?
Like, have you ever walked
Is
into
it luck
like
when
somebody
you,
that
when you
sells?
change your marketing strategy and you win?
I don't know if it's necessarily luck, but like eventually something's gonna have to pay out. Like you can only throw so much shit at the wall before you just.
Not true. I've seen people
You
throw
don't think?
so much shit at the wall
But it's
and
just
nothing
like
sticks.
I feel like there's never
because they're
been
literally
a
throwing
marketing
feces
person.
at the wall.
Well, there's never been like a marketing person that has guaranteed you a specific ROI on their strategy.
No, they're weathermen.
Right.
Right.
So like I feel like every time you shift that, it's a game of chance. Like it is gambling to a T.
It is to a certain extent though. If you know what you're doing,
Right, like-
but if you're somebody that is a general contractor and you're like, I'm not getting business, so I'm just going to shift and start throwing money into pay-per-click advertising. And then you're doing that and you're not getting anything. You go, I'm just going to shift and I'm going to pay it into Google advertising, or I'm going to pay it into
Facebook ads
Right.
a salesperson,
Toilet ads.
or
Yeah,
or like those urinal
Right.
ads when we you don't know, but like
We get them on the back of the stall doors.
cute. So that makes sense, actually. But that's what I'm saying is like you could literally bounce around in 100 different places and not be successful. So I challenge that to say, no, you can definitely not be successful and change everything you want to change, and just keep doing what you want to do, and not come up with a consistent.
But as a sales guy, it's all about numbers to me, right? The more sales calls I make, hey, I may not get 10 in a row, but then I'll get the 11th, right? To me, it's all about numbers.
Right.
That is a marketing strategy. I'm saying people that don't know how to actually market. right?
Yeah.
That is a good, solid marketing strategy.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? That's
Right.
how most people should do it: is go and visit, go
Just
do.
hustle. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep
yeah.
knocking on doors. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on.
I
his
hear his,
headset.
yeah, and I keep hearing his voice. I'm like, am I fucking hearing things?
No,
in
no.
my head? Or like, what the hell is going on?
But
All right, sorry, y'all out there listening. Go ahead.
Green room. Green
Yeah,
room's got activity.
green room is echoing in.
That's right.
I don't know. I feel like with I don't know. I feel like with marketing, I feel like it's always a gamble just because you don't know. Like you could have 17 different marketing companies reach out to you. They could each pitch you. All of them have a similar plan, but one of them, maybe has something slightly different, but none of them ever guarantees.
Marketing
like you
gurus
have to
are weather people.
you have to be able to be the closer. And
Right.
the only way you're going to be the closer is your market.
Marketing people are weather people. They're literally weather people. They're 70% correct 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So
right?
then,
They just have to get close, and
right.
you're going to be relatively in the ballpark. That's literally what marketing people are. You don't have to you can hit a home run and predict a tornado is going to touch down in some town at some time during some place, and that would be your marketing campaign. But as a marketing person, you really just got to run with the trends and know that your storm is going to blow in at some point around 9:30.
So talking about what Kent had brought up about being gifted a business, like he became a
Right.
bookkeeper. 2 months later, I die, and then now he's
Not wishing that on you.
Now you
Just-
got a business.
So,
No, I
but to
got a
play
business.
kind of on that a little bit deeper is what about second, third generation business owners? Like, let's say, you build up your Restoration One territory and brand
to my
and name,
kids.
and then the girls take it over. Now they're second generation. People will say that they were handed this successful business and they're lucky. But will they be able to keep it going? Because the stats and the percentages, when it gets into second and third generation, it greatly
tend to
reduces.
diminish. Correct. I think that is all on the and actually Chris Haynes out there, he actually has kind of similar, would have a very good idea of this because he's got a business. Don't know if his kids will go into it. I believe it came from one of his parents, or his dad or uncle.
Well, his dad would be one of his parents.
Well,
Came from a family member.
A family member.
Yeah.
He's in it with his brothers and whatnot. So it's, in my mind, a hand-me-down business, if done right, and this is what I feel is the more common trend, is if it's done right, the kid is going to have to, the second generation or third generation, whatever it is, the following generation is going to have to work in it from ground up. And if they do that,
Well, they put their
it like-
time in, so it's very different.
Likely will be
Right.
that they're going to be successful, and that's not luck then. That's
Right.
hard work, right? Now, if they're handed it, then yeah, it's probably going to be something that is, and what I've seen is something that falls apart. Now, let's say that it is a service type business like mine, and one of my girls were to go to college for business, right? Financing or whatever, right? Business administration, run a business, and then come out and actually step in and start running the business. They've gone to college,
They put in some work.
they put in some work. It's not like they're just walking into it, right? Like,
Right.
in my mind, I'm always going to make anybody that comes into the business, work into the business, not just walk into it. So it doesn't matter my kids or some outside person, they're going to have to earn it. And I think all of our humans feel the same because much like you work with your employees, you have to earn what you do. I'll still show you that I can do it. Right? Like, you want to challenge me? Great. I'm going to jump in there and I'm going to show you that I can do it just as good as you can. Much like Toby Keith? I'm as good as I once was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not as good as I once was, but as good once as I always was. Yeah. That one's it.
God rest
you
his
don't
soul.
even. Yeah.
God
God
rest
rest
his
it. R.I.P. Much like
Bob Newhart now.
Bob Newhart and Richard Simmons.
Yeah, Richard.
Richard.
God bless him. That's right.
Richard.
That's what Steph says every day.
Richard.
I don't. Yeah. So I'm gonna stand on if you own a business, your success. There's nothing about luck in your success if
Right.
you own a business, right?
And you're successful.
And you're successful, right? Even if you're bidding a big job, right, and you win that big bid, it's because you busted your ass and made a good reputation for yourself.
Hell yes.
It's not necessarily because you're lucky.
So many variables that play into that it's not one. You're lucky. Love that.
Right. Right.
How often do you feel that people approach you for great job on this big job and you're so lucky for that?
I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I'm not very successful.
Shit, dude. Man, you got this radio station. You're so lucky.
We're in this elevator together.
You're so lucky. You got this radio station. You're the coach of a basketball team.
Yeah.
Your basketball team has had some wins.
Yeah, we just won the championship last week.
Yeah, so that's lucky.
Yeah, no, it's not. If you saw my team, you'd say that. Yeah, I guess so. No, it's still the grind. It's hard work. It's learning. It's hitting your head against the wall night after night after night, time after time after time. I mean, look at this crazy place, right? You all have been with us, but probably the longest of anybody, right? And
we have been. And let's reiterate.
Right, and I mean, we started. Think about we were around a round table. We were weird. We were in different spots at the Tunyon Tower. Mm-hmm. Then we kind of moved in. Now we've got 1,600 square feet of 3 different studios, a green room here, right? But we keep busting our butt. We keep struggling. We keep goofing things up. Look at how long ago where it was like. The sound was terrible. Things, we've bumped our heads a lot to get to where we're at.
The first time we did the video here, it was a little better than this, but I don't know.
That might just be the TV. That might just be the TV.
But we were in that room and everybody thought we were Dracula because of the lighting and all that bullshit. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out, but
right.
So when people say to y'all, oh my God, you're doing so good. You're doing so good. How do you respond to that? Because to me, it's always weird.
I always just say okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's always my
All right,
go-to.
Forrest Gump. Thank you.
That's always my go-to response when people are telling me something about my life and they really don't know my life and they're telling me about myself. I'm just like, okay.
Is that like when I give you a hug?
No. But I'm just always like...
She just goes, huh.
Yeah.
If when you want to tell me about myself, I just say okay. Like I'm not gonna argue with you. Like if that's
all right.
I'm like okay.
Okay.
But that's usually like my go-to answer.
Okay. Okay.
Like when people are like, "Oh, you're doing so well, and you have these employees, and you have, a building, and you have this and that," and people are like, "Oh, you're okay." Like, the more shit that I keep adding, the less sleep I seem to get.
Right.
Like, it doesn't improve my sleep.
Right.
Like the more people, the more clients, the more whatever, the more stuff that gets added on, the building renovation, the whatever,
Yep.
I get less sleep.
Yep.
It's not more sleep. I thought it would be more sleep. But no.
Right.
No, you gotta get a human to do the work for you. Then it becomes
my typical response is thank you, but we're not where we want to be. It's usually I cut it quick, right? Thank you, but we're really not where we want to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You deflect hard.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind being like the center of the spotlight when I am like talk, like when I'm talking and people are like listening to me talk, like at
when
like
I'm the lecturer, I'm
right.
on point, and I would rather be in the spotlight when I'm the lecturer.
Like that's fine.
But
when people want to like compliment,
yep,
I'm like,
same.
I'm
Nope,
like, you know
fuck
what?
off.
Like I don't like this conversation anymore.
Nope, don't like that.
Oh, there's my aunt.
Oh, hi,
Sharon says,
Aunt.
"What planet are you on that you would think that would be more sleep?"
That's a very true
I love
statement.
it.
True
I
statement.
But yeah, I don't know. I
well.
just assumed that the more stuff, then the less I had to do. But apparently, I mean, I do less stuff in certain aspects, but I do more stuff now in other things. So it's a trade. But yeah,
Which then you're perceived to be lucky because you're doing things that are not like.
oh, people
the
are like, oh, you're
day-to-day
lucky
grind.
because you could leave at
So-
12 o'clock to go get your nails done.
Yep.
But they don't see that I had already been up since 4 a.m.
Right.
working
Yep.
on stuff to then be
Well,
able
not
to take
only
a
that,
break to go
not
get
only-
my nails done.
Not only that, but you've set yourself up with employees to do your day-to-day work during the middle of the day.
Yeah, but
to
I've
where
already
you
put
can
in-
go and put in.
I've already put in like 6 hours before you even took a sip of your coffee. Not
Yeah.
you, but like
Most
people.
most
Thank you.
people.
Thank you.
Most people.
But you know
right.
what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like
Yes.
I've already
Yes.
put 6 hours
And I'm
in,
not saying
and
you
now I want to
haven't.
go and get my nails done.
I'm not saying you haven't, but like in certain businesses of mine, it didn't matter if I put 6 hours in before people get up in the morning. I still have to be there in the middle of the day because I had to be there, right? And just be present. So that's where I think people perceive lucky as in you get to go and do your nails. Well, it's not that I did the work in the morning. It's that I've done the work for the past 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
Eating so I can go get my nails done.
But you've done the work for 10,
Right.
6, 7, 8 years, and now you have people in place to do the day-to-day operation
Yeah.
where then you can go and do your 6 hours in the morning and go, all right, I'm going off to get my nails
So-
done. Right? That's where I think I'm seeing.
I don't get you're lucky. I get you're crazy, right? Because I'm a coach.
yeah.
I run this business. I work at Aegis as the operations guy.
Interesting. Yep.
So people are always like, "Man, you're crazy."
And you still do like a shit ton of stuff with your family.
Right. So I'm always going. So I look at somebody who's got one job and go, "Man, you're lucky."
You got 8 hours of sleep last night? Man, you're lucky.
Right?
But like you say that, but you would never be
You couldn't do that.
as
I couldn't.
fulfilled as you
I was
are
gonna
now.
say,
Like you have to be
I do.
busy. You
I do.
couldn't do like a 9 to 5 and then shut it off.
I think it's actually the opposite. People that have one job, they may be lucky because what they're doing is what they want.
Yep.
You're lucky because you have the energy, the mindset, and the stamina to do the multiple things, multiple skillets, right? And so I really think that you're lucky in the sense that you have all these opportunities to do all these things. And I say that knowing that it took a lot of hard work to get to where you're at. So where I don't mean you're lucky.
I mean, thank you, but we're not where we want to be.
You worked hard,
Right.
but like
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. But
you have the opportunity to fit all these things together.
you two have created a life that you really don't need to retire from. I've done the same thing. We could do what we're all doing until we're 122,
Right.
right? And it's a great feeling to be able to say, you know what? I kind of run this timeline.
Right.
And if I want to, if I want to continue to do this till I'm 122, I'd be happy doing it because I can work remote. I can take a day. I can go here. I can go to Vermont. I can do that. And I've set it up that way. To which, if you have a 9 to 5er who only gets 3 weeks of vacation each year, they go, "Man, you're lucky," you know. But not really. I mean,
Yeah, well, it's just like people telling me I'm lucky that I get to take Eli to soccer camp and stuff in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the workday and,
Right.
and whatever. But what they don't see is that I have to schlep like a whole camping kit with me to the soccer field.
And burn your girl here.
Yeah.
And then
That
sit
girl
on
got
an
burned hard.
anthill.
Yeah, I sat on an anthill and got bit, and then I had a swollen leg with a cankle for like a week because whatever. But so it's just like I have to like freeze, like I have to bring like a backpack with my laptop, a way to keep my laptop cold because I'm sitting in 90 degrees straight sun.
Right.
With a chair, with all of Eli's soccer gear, with all this stuff, and then try and conduct meetings from a soccer field without overheating my laptop. Like
So
it's not that simple.
See, I look at people
First
like
world
you.
problems.
I look at people like you, Derek. Brian. I Drew, my part. I love the grind. You know what I mean? I love watching your decisions, watching your moves. It's like watching a chess game and just trying to learn and pick up things, right? So I don't think it's lucky. I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I get to sit here and see it, right? Because we're friends and you guys are very successful and how you move, right? And to me, I'm lucky to be able to do that because I see the grind. But and then I go, I like how she said that. I love how Steph positioned that. Yes,
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be able to do half the shit that I do with being so remote and off-site and being able to work as much as I work not physically in my office.
And Mr. President, we hope you get better.
You know, like if it wasn't for that and that whole
COVID.
remote working move.
Right.
Like I wouldn't I would be dead in the water if I attempted to do that 5 years ago with Eli being at soccer camp and shutting down for 4 hours to drive out to Schaumburg and back.
I'm lucky because of this goofy place here because on Monday night, we have the monsoon, but I'm at Gary Myers. Gary Myers has done the Myers Report for 40 years, right? And this guy's 79 years old. And I'm lucky because I get to spend one-on-one time with him talking about what he's done over the last whatever years. And, how do we bring it into this platform and work together and partner? And his wife, Edie, she was like the number one sales executive for some Fortune 5. I mean, she was like the highest woman at times when women weren't supposed to be in those positions. So I'm like a sponge with them. So I'm very lucky because it's opened up a lot of doors for me to just go, oh, whoa.
So that is, I think, the luck that we are all talking about in the sense of, and I put this on Facebook. I said, and this is a quote pretty much from my wife, Carrie. She always says some people start on first base. Some people,
I like that. Mm-hmm.
Some people aren't even in the batter's box, right? Some people aren't even on the team. They're not even the bat boy, right? So as a white male, I've pretty much started off on the team.
Oh, yeah.
I get a shot at hitting a ball, right? Because I'm a white male. So in the sense of being lucky, I would say there are very much luck things in the sense of I was born into this world as a white male.
Mm-hmm.
So I have certain things that came to me that I can definitely say I'm lucky for.
Absolutely.
Right? And so that's kind of where I see the luck. And that, but it doesn't mean that I didn't have to work my ass off and swing at the ball.
Right.
Right? And then run to first and run to second and run to third to get to home.
Yep.
Right? We still all have to run the bases. Some people do start off on third.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Let's face it. Some people start on third.
Not the spoon, the silver spoon.
Yeah, but they start on third, but they also die on third.
They really could die on such a great point. So that's the luck is where you start is to me the luck is where are you starting off at, right? My luck is I started off on the team because I'm a white male. Some people may be unlucky or what they say is luck because they're a non-American, but they're still white male, so they're at least a bat boy, right? Or on the bench, right? Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
There's people that start off that aren't even on the team.
You never heard the gang on Gilligan's Island say that the people who got off the island were lucky every week.
So true.
We're down to the last.
Yeah, I know.
What did you
What,
learn?
what did we
shit.
learn? That was a
Holy
good
shit.
one.
All
What
right,
did we
you
learn?
want to know what I really learned today?
Yeah.
I have such OCD. This one moving blanket has the worst line in it.
It does,
That
I see
one
it.
stitch
I
is
see
so
it. Oh, I see
wrong.
it.
I've been staring at it the entire show. We've been doing the whole show, and I've been staring at
It
that
is- it's
one
not on
stupid
camera, but,
stitch. So I'm unlucky because of that.
You should have sat in this seat.
Because
I don't see anything.
Because there's nothing else. All the other moving blankets are perfectly stitched. That one in front of my
That
eyes
does have a
is
bad
so
one. Now I'll never not see it. Literally the guy who hung.
Thanks,
Literally
Jeff.
the guy who
Thanks.
hung these. I never saw it. Now I'll never not see it.
I can't believe you put it right there. It's right in front of me.
Have to hang a poster over it.
Thank you. Please do. I'll bring you a poster.
I think he's gonna bring you the little cat poster that says "Hang in there." He's gonna bring you.
That's a great idea.
That's it.
I will. I will.
I don't know. I think what I learned today was something that I expressed earlier, that I just find it interesting that you find when people say that you're lucky, it grinds your gears, but when people tell you you've changed, you're just very adamant and you're dig your heels on it. And it's just interesting because I just feel like it comes from just a similar place when people make both those comments.
Yeah. I learned that I'm both lucky and I work hard.
Yeah. I guess.
Why?
Because I get to do this. I mean, I get to.
But that's hard work. Got you here.
Well, yeah, but I'm still very lucky to be able to sit here and just, pick apples off of brilliant
that was
minds.
hard work that got you here, though. That's not luck.
I don't know. I think so.
Are you sure? Because he has to be pretty lucky because he's the only surviving member that has not been hospitalized and dead.
There's a lot to that.
That is
Real.
luck. That's luck. That's luck.
God rest your soul. Ranch around.
All of you. All of you.
Thanks for looking down on us.
Please don't strike us down.
That's right.
Like,
That's hilarious.
And the other,
You said that.
the other thing I learned is today earlier is if you're mining too many holes, the floor will fall.
It's fair.
That's it.
Mine subsidence.
Yeah.
That's
Derek
the
wants to
coverage
know
of
who's on
insurance.
your radio station, Will.
Yeah. We've got key man insurance now.
I don't want to be on the wheel.
Trust me. Yeah, you can have it. You are Derek. Welcome in.
Y'all be good.
All right, listen.
Have a good one. Be
Yeah,
safe. Yeah.
yeah. Stick around. There's always more stuff going on. There's some cool things coming down the road, some new shows and things of that nature. But we really got to give a shout out to Steph's bookkeeping for helping us out on this, and Restoration One of Cary. Always good stuff. If you've got water in your basement, give Restoration One a call.
At this point, after the rains, it's probably mold now. So still give us a call.
Still give a call.
Nice.
And
It's probably mold.
and if you don't know how to keep your books, Steph does.
What kind of book?
Yeah,
Do you do hardbounds and softcover?
that's right.
Whatever we need
Audio-
to do to get
audio.
it through the IRS.
Audiobook, that's right. Hey, everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.